Hello there, it's day 4. Today I want to have a conversation about connection. My primary gift and belief is that I believe that all things are interconnected. So, for example, the house that you live in, there are so many different people who helped to build that home. In addition to the people who paved the road to get to your home, the people who put in the electricity, the water, the cable, the gas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I believe that every part of our lives is interconnected. And this belief, in a lot of ways, has really served me in growing my business because I believe that we are one tied to another, here to love and be of service to each other. And with that being said, I believe that connection is hardwired into our DNA. Now, the internet is a really interesting place because we can grow our businesses, as they say, faster because we're online and we can reach more people. The problem is we've kind of lost our senses as it comes to how we talk to each other, how we communicate with one another, how we interact with one another. And so I just want to give you something to think about. When you meet someone face to face, eye to eye, there are things that you would never do and things you would never say because there's a thing called etiquette. And what I find is, take your inbox, for example. I have people who inbox me ads that I don't know. Now, if I was walking out and you met me in person, you wouldn't throw an ad in my face. You would try to build a connection. At least I hope so. So think about that before, when you meet someone online and you immediately send them some advertisement to enroll in your product, service, or program, or you post an ad directly on that person's wall. It's disrespectful. It's like someone walking past your house and putting a sign in your yard to advertise their business, and you don't have a relationship with that person. I believe that you use things, not people. And I believe that it's time for us to really kind of get back to recognizing the humanity within one another. That's one thing I want you to think about. Another thing I want you to think about is having all these opinions about everything. What someone else is doing in their home, in their life, they're living their best life, is none of your business. So having an opinion about everything that's going on in someone else's life is really disempowering and it's ineffective. Because if you're trying to be a person who adds value to the marketplace, whether it's in the community in which you live, work, and serve, or in a larger global community context, you have to let go of a lot of ideas about how you think people should behave. So for me, I kind of feel like, live and let live. Let these people live whatever way they want to live, as long as they're not doing harm to you. You cannot help people if you're judging and you're criticizing them. It's just like when you go, for example, to the movies and you watch a movie and you see an actor who's behaving a certain way and you think, oh, this is my favorite actor. And then you find out that their personal life is jacked up and you have all these opinions about it. They're people. Acting is just a job. It's not who they are. We get like really caught up in the nonsense. And so, as older people, there's a point where we have to really kind of sit back and ask, why are we attacking other people? Why do we go to people's walls and we say crazy stuff to them, disrespectful things to them? Why do we do this? A lot of it is because you're not happy in your own life. And so as an entrepreneur, I get it. You're going to attract people who are eating hater tots and drinking haterade, but you got to keep it moving. You don't have time for that. So when you begin to look at how you're connecting with people, you need to be building bridges, right? And crossing that bridge into unity and harmony, because you can find common ground with anybody. I have friends of all different ages and of all different cultures and of all different races. And I think that it's really important that we begin to appreciate what makes people different. Can you imagine if everybody in the world thought exactly like you thought and had the same exact hobbies that you currently have? My gosh, it would be a boring place. So what makes business exciting is that different people bring different gifts to the table. And then together we are stronger. That's the second thing I want you to think about. The third thing I want you to think about is how you connect with people when you first meet them in person. I don't know about you, but I don't like to be pitched. I don't buy things from people that I don't know. I just don't, and I don't buy things from people who, when you first meet me, you vomit your value proposition all over me. You really try to do some hard type of sale. You try to use hypnosis or NLP or some other mind programming technique. Like, that's the fastest way for you to get shut down dealing with me. And I know that a lot of people feel the same way, but they try to be nice because they feel like, oh, I got to grow my business. But it's like I said the other day, there's 8 billion plus people in the world, and you don't have the time, money, energy, or resources to be dealing with people who don't value themselves and therefore cannot value you. So when you're out at, whether it's a networking meeting, you're at the grocery store, you're being a volunteer, wherever you are, recognize that within the community that you've built for yourself, whether it's family, friends, the people you work with, your neighbors, the people who are at the grocery store, restaurants, car wash, gas station, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're dealing with a lot of different people who, they might not be your customer, but they might have a cousin or a friend, or a colleague, or a fraternity brother, a sorority sister, someone who's in one of their membership organizations who might be. So treat people with respect. Learn how to listen really closely. Listen to all the things that they're saying, and then also listen for what they're not saying, because people will tell you their desires if you listen. And you cannot build a successful business if you think you know everything about everything. Ask me how I know. I'm going to leave you with that. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.